Those have just been completely blown off by the wind fill, and that is, again, in the northern part of the county.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot more of these types of reports start coming in. I also want to briefly touch base on the fact that you were mentioning generators, that folks have gotten unbuttoned generators. Be very careful. You must run these devices outdoors where there's plenty of clean air. Don't make the mistake of bringing it inside your garage or inside your house. There's a lot of carbon monoxide, and that will kill you. There's no doubt about that. So please, if you have a generator, make sure that it is functioning and running outside where there's plenty of wind. And speaking of wind, cooler temperatures outside, and that's indicative that we will probably have some nice cold temperatures on the way tomorrow.
And remember, back to that carbon monoxide, yes, it can kill you. And the thing about it is, you just don't even know it. It's not like, people are like, oh, don't worry about it. When I start coughing, I'll know to run out there and turn it off. That's not the way it works. It's in the air, and it gets in your system, and the results can be tragic. So if you've got those, good for you for being prepared, but be very, very careful in how you operate them, and just stay on top of it, because that's the last thing that we want for any of you or your families.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the immediate days after storms, we always hear of those situations where people are sick or they die as a result. So again, can't say it enough. Please be careful when you're operating one of these generators. Do we have something here we want to go?
I think we want to go to Carmel.
Okay. Carmel Cafaro, as I mentioned earlier, is in West Broward. She'd been in Plantation and Sunrise and basically canvassing West Broward, reporting in superficial damage. Let's check in with her now to see what else she's seeing and hearing in West Broward. Carmel.
You could see the sky lighting up as transformers throughout the areas went, and there was that eerie green glow in the sky. We're in the parking lot right now of the Sawgrass Mills Mall. And if you take a look behind me, this tree is a perfect example of what's been going on here. There are trees all over the area that are down. There are branches that are falling off. And the wind gusts, well, they're substantial, and they're hard to stand up in. In Plantation Acres now, the power lines, we don't find any of those down, but throughout this entire area, there are trees absolutely everywhere that are down. Broken, battered. This tree here is blocking this entire street, Northwest 118th Avenue. The yard here, multiple trees down. But one good thing anyway, so far, we have not seen any structural damage to the houses here. Of course, it's still early in the day. This is Rexmere Village in Davie, and the damage is already beginning here. Take a look around. You can see that these mobile homes are starting to come apart. Always a problem in weather like this. There were mandatory evacuations, but it's clear from looking around here that quite a few homes, people did not leave. Now, it looks like this particular one, the owners probably are not there, but throughout this area, we see car after car after car indicating people are home. And it's terrible because as these gusts come through and the pieces of these mobile homes fall apart, they fly across the road and they have razor sharp edges. So this is nothing to play with. But take a look here, Anthony. Look on the ground. Look at this poor lizard. He looks lost. Better find a place to stay, fella. It's only going to get worse. Okay, so we're getting ready to leave, but we couldn't leave the lizard. So we're going to take him with us, even though he looks a little angry. We'll put him in a safe, dry place. These gusts are just incredibly strong, and as we're watching, these homes are coming apart literally right in front of us. We're under 595 at Hiatus Road right now, and this wind is absolutely unbelievable. It has picked up substantially just in the last few minutes, and as these gusts comes through, it's all but impossible to stand up. Take a look around. It's coming down so hard you can barely see. Okay. And along Sunrise Boulevard, it's just awful. Take a look behind me. This power pole is snapped in half. Right down to the right over here, another one is completely broken in half. Look at this rain and wind and water coming across here. And these gusts, it's just absolutely terrifying, to tell you the truth. We are back now in Plantation Acres. The eye wall passed over us. We had a little bit of a break, but not much. The wind now is coming from the opposite direction, and there is a lot of damage around here. The trees, well, this happens every time there's a storm. They're stripped on one side. The fences are down all over this neighborhood, along with trees. Roof damage, we see a lot of roof damage. Here's this tree just snapped off right in front of us. And then, of course, there's roof damage. Tiles are flying off of roofs all over this area. There's the barrel tile, and then, Anthony, take a look over here to the left. There are tiles coming off of there. It's almost every place you look. And the wind is just howling. And at this point, listen, the damage seems to be cosmetic. I mean, the homes are still standing, but there is going to be some expensive damage in this neighborhood, and who knows how many others throughout South Florida. Carmel Cafaro, 7 News. And that was about an hour ago. Here I am out live again, and this time we have moved out of the neighborhood, and we are at right outside of the Sawgrass Mills Shopping Center. This is the old Garden Ridge store, and as you can see, they've had quite a bit of structural damage here. Unlike in the Keys, where it was appears to have been a rain and a water event, out here in West Broward, it's been very much a wind event. If you take a look in this parking lot here, you'll see that there are just trees down everywhere, and every place throughout Broward and oh, there's a car here passing by. Excuse me, let me just get out of the way. Oh, look, they have children in the car and out sightseeing. Gee whiz, not the greatest thing in the world to do, because actually the reason that we moved out of the neighborhood is because there were so many down power lines. We were concerned about putting the mast up for our live shot. So for folks to be out sightseeing right now is just really totally not the best idea in the whole world. But there is a bright spot, and if you look out this way, it's out west. Phil, I know you'll know what that is that we're seeing. It looks like some better weather coming in from the west, and hopefully we can start picking up and cleaning up, because there's going to be a lot of that to be done. Back to you guys in the studio and in the dark, I understand.
Cafaro joining us from West Broward with an assessment, a preliminary assessment of what it looks like there. Thanks to Carmel for that. We'll be getting back with her. We are getting information coming in from the different municipalities, and I've got a little bit here from the city of Aventura. I'll read from it, this from the city manager's office there, saying that Wilma has caused significant damage in Aventura. All interior streets are impassable or substantially obstructed with downed trees or other debris. The entire city of Aventura is without power. All traffic signals are not functioning. Many along Biscayne Boulevard have fallen down as a result of the winds out there. So again, the city manager in Aventura is asking for folks' cooperation. Stay put, stay home, stay off the roads to give them a chance to clear the debris and get a better handle on the damage there. But again, it sounds like it's fairly widespread in the city of Aventura. The police department is planning to canvass just to check on the welfare of residents there. So again, stay off the roads, let them have the opportunity to be on the roads and do what they do. That coming to us again from the city of Aventura.
I don't think Aventura is alone, Craig. We were just talking to Lynn Martinez, who just drove in to work here from the Gables area, and she was just telling us that it took her 1 hour to get here from her home, and in the city of Coral Gables itself, it was just, to quote Lynn, she said it's like the streets were shredded, and it was really impossible to get here to where we are, which is off of I-95 on the 79th Street Causeway here in North Bay Village. So as the day progresses, we're going to be hearing more and more of this. Different cities with no traffic lights working, impassable roads, possible flooding. And you guys are just going to need to stay where you are so that those city officials and utility crews can do what they need to do to make your area safe once again. Some damage reports coming in now from our crew in Fort Lauderdale regarding the Broward School Board building. We're hearing that that building is very badly damaged. The one side of the building is gone. All of the windows on that one side of the building are gone, and you can actually see right inside the building the damage is so bad. The court buildings in downtown Fort Lauderdale also badly damaged, but of course the school board building and the Broward County courts more or less in that same neighborhood. So if one got it, you can only assume that the others got it as well.
Right now, I'm being told we have a little more with Alita Lareska. She's out behind our studios in North Bay Village to talk about the improving conditions and the cooler weather. Alita.
Hey there, Craig. You know what? Conditions out here, you can't even believe that a hurricane just went through this area because of the fact that the skies are clearing, conditions have improved. However, as we've been talking about it all morning long, you want to make sure that you're still remaining near your home and not venturing out there and getting into your cars, making sure that officials can head out there and assess the damage, because there is some widespread debris in and around our studios here that we've noticed as we walked around some. We're still dealing with some of this flooding and the ponding from earlier today, and the winds are still picking up pretty good. Probably still about 15, 20 miles per hour, sustained in some areas. Some pretty good wind gusts. Again, earlier this morning or so, some large waves came up over the seawall and slammed onto the concrete here, and we're still looking at about 3 to 4 inches of some of this water. There are drains built into these seawalls, but it's going to take a while because a lot of the debris that came off of the concrete has moved closer toward the seawall, so the water is still kind of stagnant over here. We're also looking at a pile of debris, a lot of rocks here, trees down. We saw a palm tree that's down too, and a couple of our satellites are still holding on, thank goodness, but they were rattling earlier this morning when the winds were coming in off of that eye wall. I do want to mention behind or next to the studio, there is this building under construction, and some of the debris from this building has come off due to a collapse on the first story there, or the top floor rather of the building, and you can still see that some of the debris up there is kind of at a slant, and there's some homes and condos in and around that area, so we are worried that some of that debris, maybe with these stronger gusts that come through here, that it may fall off. So those of you living in and around the North Bay Village area and you live near buildings that are under construction, you want to make sure you stay indoors, because you never know if any of the debris from these buildings are going to come piling off as soon as you walk out the door. We're still seeing a lot of trees in and around the area that look to be that they could topple over, so you want to remain away from that. Meanwhile, the water is looking a lot quieter at this hour, but earlier today we did see a couple of the docks that were situated off of the seawall here that were floating out in the bay, and some boats that have looks like they've toppled over near the seawall toward the Biscayne Bay, some of our neighbors here. As far as the structural damage is concerned, it doesn't look like too many of the buildings here. Looks like everything looks good from here. Just a few of the plywood windows, or the plywood from the windows of the shutters, that have come off. But things are looking pretty good from here. Winds are continuing to blow some of these clouds off toward the north, so still looking at some dark clouds, but definitely seeing some clearing in and around the Miami Beach area. And as we've been talking about the change in the temperatures as you walk outside this afternoon and you wake up tomorrow morning, those temperatures are going to dip down into the 50s around Miami Beach, the Fort Lauderdale area. The last time we felt these 50-degree temperatures were back in April. So it's a nice change after everything that we've endured with Wilma, and crossing our fingers that nothing else is lurking out there that we need to worry about anytime soon. That's the situation out here along North Bay Village. Back to you guys in the studio.
Once again, out back here in North Bay Village, glad to hear. Well, but point of reference, in case you folks at home hadn't figured that out, we're not able to hear each other. We're sort of using walkie-talkies to kind of tell each other when to go and when to stop talking. So, but we know Alita's been talking about improving weather. We know she's been talking about cooler temperatures. So we're grateful for that.
We can hear each other.
Yes.
But that's about it. And we are getting updates, though, from our assignment desk, the old school way on printed pieces of paper. And we just got an update from Monroe County Sheriff's Office, but we're going to get to that in a second. I think this is video of Normandy Isle, which is not far from us here. There is a community there that is surrounded by water there, all around Biscayne Bay. So you're looking at some of the video that we were able to shoot just east of us over in Normandy Isle, maybe earlier in the day or during the day. Looks like some people there on the street. Are they walking through? Yeah, that street looks pretty flooded there. But I guess you expect something like that to happen during a storm of this magnitude. Cars rolling through there again. What people are asking residents not to do is get in cars and drive and check things out. But people are doing it anyway. It's hard to stop that, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we're back.
The video from Normandy Isle, and again, fairly consistent with what we've seen in many areas. Some roof damage, obviously power lines, trees that have been down, limbs that have been downed, and signage, large and small, that's been brought down as a result of this. Fairly consistent with what we anticipated. Yes. Some exterior damage here, some signage here at the 7 News Studios in North Bay Village. Again, what we kind of thought we'd see. The last reports we've gotten from the county EOC in Miami-Dade, no substantial structural damage thus far, but again, we've got to kind of put an asterisk with that because this point in time, now that conditions are improving, authorities are out canvassing the area, trying to get a fix on where there is damage. So we may get reports of more damage or greater than we're aware of right now, obviously.
Now, obviously, is the assessment stage of things when officials are out there checking things out. And I was mentioning right before we showed you that video of Normandy Isle, Monroe County sheriffs have been assessing the situation in the Florida Keys, and we have an update from there. The Keys obviously closed until US 1 is cleaned up. They are saying that there is significant damage, but it's not catastrophic. So that is a good thing. Their priority right now is to remove the debris from US 1. So maybe when all is said and done, those people that left their home